Nick tipped $1. Hey Papa, did you see Ethan explain the whole Crowder situation on his birthday stream? If not, could you watch it? It makes the whole situation a lot more reasonable.
I really don't want to watch more Ethan. I'm so fucking bored of Ethan. So annoying, dude. You want me to watch a fucking 2-hour birthday stream in order for me to figure out something about Crowder that's going to be not really that reasonable? Like, I'm not trying to be rude. But, like, here's what happened. Like, Crowder is a scumbag, okay? I've said it before. He's not just, like, I'm an edgy joke guy as well, but, like, he doesn't play the line. He's just, like, does outwardly racist shit. I don't think that he hates anybody. I don't think he hates black people or Hispanic people or anything. I just think that he doesn't really respect people's identities, which is racist. The George Floyd thing, tone deaf, disgusting. I feel like even Crowder has to know that if people don't like him after that it's completely justifiable. I would at least give Crowder the benefit of the doubt of knowing that that was something that was going to just turn people away. I was not really a fan of Crowder before that, but I was like, well, okay, before that, then the Black Farmers thing was like really fucking tone deaf as well. Yeah, no, so I mean, he just constantly does like dumb racist shit. Point being, whatever. I think Crowder knows at this point that he is completely not palatable. He's just kind of a shithead. You know, I'm not a big fan. But the terms and conditions were laid out that they will meet up and have a conversation on their stream. Ethan came in. He was being a nice guy. Hey, I heard about your wife. You know, he was trying to be like a good guy, priming the situation to lower Steven Crowder's defenses. And then almost instantly, some douchebag with glasses came in, and Ethan backed off like a coward. I think that this right here kind of just exemplifies the way Ethan feels about himself. He's feeling very emboldened. Every time he gets positive attention from the internet, he thinks that it gives him the right to do or say anything he wants. From an ethical perspective, like, yeah, loser shit. You said something dumb about how we should just blindly listen to the government when the CDC downplayed the coronavirus in the beginning. Now, they did it so that they could hoard masks for hospitals and because people were going hysterical. I understand that. But it creates mistrust. And so that's what happened. But it happened. So you shouldn't just blindly trust government bodies, right? That's how systemic racism is a thing. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't blindly trust government institutions and government bodies because they do mislead you. Maybe you can think that those misleading things are justifiable, but they're still misleading. And so, like, yeah, he said a dumb thing. He didn't hold himself accountable, and he had some other fucking guy come on. Like, it's whatever. Now, Crowder, he pussyfooted around him. He didn't actually give a good reason why he doesn't have to talk to somebody. He just kept saying, you're a small content creator, blah, blah, blah. What he could have said is like, listen, I'm not going to have a conversation with you because I don't want to have a conversation with you. And you just kind of like, say, Rochambeauing me. I don't know what you say. You blindsiding me and rushing onto my show. If I do engage with you right now, it sets a precedent that if anybody ever does that, I will talk to them, and it encourages that type of shitty behavior. That's how I would have responded, right? That's how you should have responded. Now he didn't. I don't think Crowder's that great on his feet, but that's what the reality is. But you want me to watch it? I'll go to his clips channel. What? Oh, excuse me. It's not on here. He has nothing here. There's nothing here.
I want to believe it's real because it's so fucking funny. AB actually just whipped up a straw poll. I am dropping it.
So again, he's such a coward bitch that he's gonna cry about being ambushed. He's done the same thing.
Well, the difference is that what is this? Hassan's uncle constantly talks shit about Crowder, like constantly calls him out. So Steven Crowder was confronted. You know how annoying it is that I have to defend Steven Crowder? I don't like Steven Crowder. But, like, that's what happened. Cenk Uygur, that's his name, right? He would constantly talk shit about Crowder. So Crowder's like, well, if you're going to talk shit about me, talk to me. He dodged him. Crowder, from my understanding, doesn't say anything about the glasses guy. What was his name? Give me the glasses guy's name. I forget what his name is. Steven Universe. What was his fucking name? Somebody please help me. I'm drawing a blank. I'm old. Sam Seder. Thank you. I don't think Crowder has ever talked shit about Sam Seder. So, completely irrelevant point.
Get the fuck over yourself.
What a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of the problems. It's like there's no depth of thought here from Ethan. Like, I like that how he did a shitty thing and he got called out for by some people, and he's just doubling down. Quite literally, all he had to say was, yeah, you're right, I did a shitty thing, but I don't like Crowder. So I decided to fucking ambush him. Okay. I mean, that's still shitty, but at least you're manning up to it. I hate it when people just can't admit when they've done some dumb shit. Just be like, yeah, I just don't like Steven Crowder, so I ambushed him. I think he's an asshole. Okay. You know what? I'll accept that excuse. I'll accept that response. At least you're being honest. At least you're being honest here, you know?
Nick tipped $5.
Hey!
Nice haircut, Papa.
Thank you.
Kisses.
I look good. Boom. Ela, I'm single. Don't tell my girlfriend I said that.
Someone like a Sam Seder who just...
He didn't even wait.
So he says now Sam said he wouldn't let him speak, which is odd because Crowder was just panicking and shouting over everybody
That's
the whole time.
true.
And you could see Sam sitting patiently, respectfully, because Sam really actually wanted to have a conversation, as we all did want to see that. And Crowder is just panicking.
Well, I think we all wanted to see the conversation with you and Crowder. That's why we tuned in.
and flailing the whole time, as you'll see here.
Never lets you speak.
That include Joe Rogan.
Yeah, Joe Rogan and Bishop, and Dave
and
Rubin, and Jordan
Shapiro.
Peterson, and Noam Chomsky, and Sam Harris. Everyone's been avoiding.
Not just attempt
Sam
to get
Seder.
your audience by jumping in.
Well, I debated with Charlie Kirk. Stephen, I mean, it's about issues. Let's
It's about
talk about
issues,
those
yeah.
issues. I think 6 or 7 million
I think,
subscribers.
let me answer. Can I answer your question? Can I answer your question? Can I answer your question? You want me to answer your question? My audience would say Sam who? For me,
By the way, his whole argument was like, nobody knows who you are. Then why is this turned into such a big story?
yeah.
Clearly, everybody knows who he is and knows about.
Well, it turned into a big story because everybody knows who H3 is and Crowder. Like, you guys are the different sides of the same coin. Like, Crowder, like just an insensitive douche, and you overly sensitive douche. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are really just the opposite sides of the same coin at this point. Yeah.
This thing of you not wanting to debate him.
Yeah.
Because
Like, I didn't know who Sam Seder was. Sam Seder. Hey, listen, by the way, good for Sam Seder. Scum move from Ethan, but good move for Mr. Seder. Got him on there. I respect the hustle, dog. I respect the hustle. I'm just going to say, I don't know the guy's content. He seems like a progressive. I don't know that I necessarily like him. But hey, listen, you got to respect the grind. Seder wasn't the one. He wasn't the one who abused his position. Like, Ethan abused his position. Ethan got the platform to go and talk to Crowder. And then Sam Seder was like, yeah, throw me in, coach. I respect the hustle. You know? Like, you got to respect the grind.
it turned into this huge story. So, like, basically,
Also, I'm sorry, but 1 million subscribers, that's not little.
of course not. That's a massive channel.
Yeah.
Especially for, like, political...
My understanding, because people were telling me after, it's not the size of his channel. It's the amount of views he gets in his channel that Crowder was referring to, which I still think is a scummy point. Because views shouldn't matter. Again, the main point should have been, I'm not going to talk to you from you ambushing me. You don't, like, you're not entitled to a conversation with me. And I'm not going to talk to you now that you ambush me, because that sets a precedent that, like, anybody could do this to me and get a conversation. So I'm not going to set that standard. All Crowder had to say. I don't think Crowder's good on his feet.
Topics?
Right, it's niche.
Yeah.
And he's very much in the details, where Crowder is just doing like performative, like clickbait, outrage stuff.
Well, yeah, you too, right? Like, that's both of you. Like, different sides of the same coin. Like, you're calling yourself out, except he's conservative and you're progressive.
Sam's actually
Sam has like hour-long
Yeah.
interviews about a single issue. It's very dry and detailed.
Yeah.
I had no
Bro, like, are we, like, I'm not saying Crowder's content's good, but, like, what is Ethan's content? Like, it's the same fucking thing, no?
idea this was going to happen.
such panic. But
And that's what podcasts are, right? Like a fucking hour long on this one thing. That is what a podcast is. Right? Like, why are we, like, you're just calling out fundamentally what a podcast is, that you engage in the same thing.
it's just funny because basically his two arguments was, one, nobody knows who you are, which he immediately contradicted himself by admitting that he was following his show to watch if he went live the previous week. So we actually had to dupe him, pre-record, fake going live to get him to...
Well, no, he even said before you guys went in there that, like, he's like, I wouldn't be surprised if Sam Seder showed up, because apparently he would know Sam Seder is like basically exhibiting stan behavior. I know the same thing. There's like small content creators that I wouldn't talk to because I find them to be insufferable and unintelligent. But like, Like, it doesn't mean that everybody in the, like, you guys wouldn't know these people, right? That's the whole thing. And why would you platform somebody who goes through like shady tactics to talk to you?
To go on with us this time. So, and also by the evidence that the entire internet exploded talking about this is further proof that everybody knows who he is. But again, you know, the ultimate slam dunk to that is like,
I don't think so.
If you don't want to have debates with people who are, who people don't know who they are, then why do you set up at college campuses?
Right.
I think it's a little bit of a different thing. When you go to a college campus, you're not broadcasting the name of that individual. You're just going to a college campus to talk to random people to give their perspectives. It's not like you're saying like, hey, here's Brittany from room 204 on for their YouTube show, the Brittany 204 show. You know, this is specifically when you engage in a conversation like that, you're engaging with two names. So it's a bit of a different thing.
So fucking stupid, bro.
It's the guy. It doesn't make.
You know what's bizarre too? Maybe I didn't.
I think what's bizarre is that like Ethan quite literally is living in his own echo chamber. Like, he's not having anybody challenge his perspective. Like, why not? Why are you like? I hate people who don't do that. Like, he had a shitty perspective and he didn't even let somebody challenge it. He said he would. That was what the Crowder thing was supposed to be, but he wouldn't do it. That's the thing I don't like. I don't like people who live in an echo chamber and won't like challenge themselves. They won't talk to people that like respectfully disagree. And you two are giving each other the same level of respect. And then, because like these are dumb points. These aren't even like intelligible points. And I don't think Crowder can really fight back against them because I don't think a Crowder is intelligent. So like, it's just a shit show.
I didn't watch the entirety of his version of the events or whatever, but maybe somebody who did he try and frame it as if Ethan was the one that challenged him to a debate? Because I'm seeing that from his supporters all over the place. I'm like, are they unaware that Stephen is the one who started this? He issued the challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Debate.
So in his response video, he
well,
said it about 4 times.
Who cares who started it? Like, it's just like you agreed to particular terms that you broke.
He said that Ethan was the one that reached out to me. He says real quick, oh, I invited him first on the show, but then like throughout the show, like on 4 different occasions.
He laid down the gauntlet. It's indisputable.
Honestly, I don't really even care.
Well, apparently the screenshots show that like Ethan was the one who reached out. Who cares though? Like, because it seems like their perspective is well, Crowder called us out first publicly, but then Ethan went privately to say, hey, we should have a conversation.
It's like, you just got owned, bro. You just got punked. Who cares? He goes weird. He wrote me this long email about his dad actually wrote this email. He keeps tap dancing around the fact that his dad is his booker and his handler and everything.
What's wrong with your dad being your booker? What? I don't understand. Why is that a point of criticism? What is that a point of criticism for? Like, I don't really get it. Like, what's the problem with like your family helping you run your business? That seems weird to me. Like, who could you trust more than family, right? I don't know.
Dad wrote us an email being like, just a one-on-one debate, no razzes, no funny business. And I didn't even respond. I was like, dude, just fucking set up the debate, douche.
I'm pretty sure they showed that you responded and you said that you agreed to what? This is so weird. What? Did we not see the screenshots where Ethan was like, yeah, no funny business? Hold on. I'll probably mute this. Let's see. Hey, Steven, I'm down for a debate. It could be fun. Maybe about COVID, since the Dr. Fauci mask thing started this all. I'm open, though. Let me know what he sent you. Okay, so it sounded like he started it? All right, so it looks like Ethan started it. Hey, man, thanks for reaching out. I do appreciate it. Really, anyone who enters the arena has my respect. Okay, and I'll be sure that's reflected on air. If you send the email, I can have Darren reach out and set it up. Easiest would probably be just to tape it on Skype either this week or next. My travel schedule is a little nutty, so I can't confirm which day would work yet, and pop into our show unedited. You can use it too if you want to run it unedited, obviously. No tricks, no zags, just you and me. I'll make sure none of my buddies are in the studio to be kind of a distraction, and we can talk about the disagreement we had fundamentally have had initially on trusting authoritative sources and to what degree due diligence is appropriate. We can also discuss to what level big tech is within the right in making editorial decisions, removing content. I'm down for any of that. Yeah, those are good topics. Can we do a debate on our show for one of yours? You have the producer, though. Can you email my guy, Dan? He's my producer. You can work out the times. I'll see. We'll have one debate. We can both use that to cool down. Sounds good. So, yeah, it sounds like he agreed to the particular terms. Crowder was being pretty nice. Let's see. This is from whatever Darren Crowder. Darren here from Louder with Crowder. I understand your guys have been corresponding on Twitter about connecting for a debate. We are thinking next Monday, 6/14 at 11 p.m. Blah, blah, 11 a.m. Central. I would ask that you stick to the details that Ethan agreed to in the Twitter DM with Steven. We never play gotcha with these things. We expect the same. Please just shoot me your Skype handle and we'll be good to go. Thanks so much for it to happen. I'll be sure to have a lot of fun. Excellent. We'll speak then. Okay. So far, like, yeah, we've just established that, yeah, Ethan's like a liar. Dude, you know how annoying it is that I'm sitting here and like defending Crowder? Dude, like, these are the worst positions to be put in. Is these positions where like you're forced to defend somebody that like you really don't like. Like, I don't like Crowder, but like if you're going to accept the debate, like, man up. And then if you're not going to man up, don't lie about not manning up. You just made it seem like you were like the tough guy. You were like, yeah, fuck you. Let's just stop the debate. You were being respectful back. And you're just like, yeah, fuck that guy. Oh, I'm so cool. It's like, you didn't do any of that, you fucking loser. What are you talking about?
There will be razzes.
I'm gonna razz you, bro. I didn't agree to anything, by the way. I didn't say, okay, no funny business.
Right. He said, when I was communicating with his dad as well, he said something like, no goof.
Yeah, you did. Did you outwardly say, I agree? No, but that's like the way that you're any normal person would have read your response and said like, okay, he's agreeing to my terms, because usually if you weren't agreeing, you would say, oh, I disagree to those terms. What you're doing is comparable to crossing your fingers behind your back. Like child fucking elementary school games.
Let's just play this straight or whatever.
I didn't even agree to that.
Yeah, I didn't.
I said, oh, here, just send me the Zoom link. Not that it matters even. It's like, if you're such a genius that predicted this, you probably should have been better prepared for it.
Yep.
So it's like everything he's tried to say to excuse this is just absolutely contradicted by what happened. Yeah. It's awesome.
A man makes an agreement.
No, but he challenged. My whole point of satirizing this was because he challenged me to a debate.
Yeah, and it's like, why?
And I was like, exactly.
Why?
Exactly. So I was like, okay, let's have a debate. We saw the opportunity.
Well, why not? I don't understand. Why say dumb shit and then not feel like you should be held accountable? Doesn't have to be Crowder. Talk to anybody else. Talk to somebody else. Like somebody intelligent as to why what you said was fundamentally harmful to people. Like advocating for people to just blindly listen to the government is how we had systemic racism, right? Like maybe we should question the government a lot. We should do that constantly. That's the whole point of living in our fucking society. And let's just keep in mind that the CDC lied to the American people and downplayed the coronavirus so that they could hoard masks for hospitals. Makes sense, understand why they did it, but they still did it. The same CDC you said to listen to blindly. So we can understand why they did what they did, but we also have to understand the negative impact that it has on Americans who are already not very trusting of the government.
Unity, and we took it. And you're a sucker. Simple as that, dude. And I don't know who told you I was a good guy. You spent like 3 episodes trashing me, so I'm confused by what made you think that.
And a man is good to his word.
Yeah.
This really comes down to an agreement, good to your word, and I know you always have two.
I didn't ever agree to shit. You should see the conversation.
We just read it. Like, yeah,
really didn't agree to anything.
You showed the DMs.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's such an interesting perspective, the man of his word thing, because that's something that resonates a lot with, I think, a lot of people. Like it resonates with me as an individual. I consider myself like somewhat of like a strong-willed individual, and that's one of the things you will generally galvanize around from a respect perspective. But like, yeah, like I would consider this a tactic, like a non-manly tactic to play this kind of a game. Yeah, I think it's like a cowardice tactic.
Yeah, so everybody can see it. Ethan didn't agree to that.
He's like, okay, here, blah, blah, blah.
Why don't I like Crowder? Probably has something to do with him reenacting George Floyd's death. Probably that. Like, that's a scummy, shitty, worthless fucking scumbag move. Like, that's why I don't like Crowder.
But I was like, just send the link.
Like, Crowder's a scumbag. Like, a scum fuck. We're debating, like, the ethics of this situation. It's, like, if literally Ethan, like, he could just say, like, yeah, I agree to all these terms because I think Crowder's a scum fuck. And I would have been like, okay, fair enough. Maybe he just doesn't know how to articulate that the right way. I don't know.
Douchebag. I didn't agree to anything.
But at the same time, his response video, he's talking about
because he did agree to it.
You. In this part we're watching right now, he's saying he want to switch and talk about big tech.
Great point.
Oh.
Yeah, because he was like, let's talk about COVID and trusting authorities and stuff. I obviously didn't give a fuck what we were going to debate because the whole time.
Well, he said we just read the fucking email thing. He said he would wanted to also talk about big tech. What the fuck are you talking about?
Just gonna dunk on him. But here he is saying
he was going
to try to switch the topic on me.
Science will claim their side wins, but really there's only one side that's based on a lie. And I wish it didn't happen because I really wanted to talk to him about his relationship with Susan Wojcicki. And
Oh, what? So he was going to try to fight me about my relationship with Susan Wojcicki?
Yeah, why not? Why not talk to... Why? What's so... He literally brought... Bro, he quite literally, objectively brought it up before. Like, in the emails. Like, there was, like, he brought it up... where the fuck is this shit? In these emails, he brought up, like, talking about big tech censorship. Now I gotta go fucking read through this whole thing here. Alright, we can also discuss to what level big tech is within the right in making editorial decisions. Like, bro, you're... Like, come on. This is so stupid.
What relationship?
That I took a photo with her once.
You know what that is, right?
But is that...
You have her on speed dial. You made jokes about it. Like, I don't understand. Like, not for nothing, but, like, you used to be, like, a big proponent of free speech. Now, obviously, there's a social line to draw between what is and isn't something that's socially palatable. So, like, I don't care that Steven Crowder's getting censored because, again, reenacting the death of George Floyd isn't funny. So I don't really give a shit if he loses his monetization. I think it's some scum shit tactic. But, like, yeah, you used to be somebody who would fight for, like, edgier content, for your speech, the ability to, like, you know, play the social line kind of a thing. And then you got Susan, whatever her name is, like the YouTube big wig on your speed dial, and all of a sudden that kind of went out the window.
The part of the
you think
advanced...
the Jewish
Yeah.
Oh,
advanced
that isn't what I was going to say, but that's actually a good point as well. No, that's him having a conversation with our buddy Jeremy.
Jeremy, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Where else would that come from? Come on.
100%. I believe Jeremy is the source of all
Quartering.
Yeah.
Yes, because Quartering is a huge fan of Steven Crowder
What a great source.
and has been a guest on his show several times. So
Just peed in my basement. Everyone's Zach, come on. Come on.
peed in my
Thank you.
basement.
What, I got a bag?
I was
My
telling
wife went
Dan
out for
that
pizza without
whenever we
me.
did that interview, whenever we got Crowder, that Jeremy's pissing everywhere. Like, I feel
Pissing all over his house,
all
too.
over the dog, the neighborhood, everywhere.
Well, I would assume there's probably some evidence of that.
There will be.
My wife just went out for pizza without me.
My wife
But
went out
there
for
is
pizza
some-
without me.
To everyone that follows that whole conspiracy of you having a relationship with Susan, there is some like advanced racism to that, right?
Yeah, because all I did was she came to our podcast studio one time. I talked to her about by the way, I tried to fucking benefit all these dipshits.
I know.
I talked
That's what
to
we
her
always
about
try to do.
monetizing mature content.
Yeah.
I said to her, why is it that when I talk about something racy or I have content made for adults that I can't get ads, when if you go watch South Park or something on Comedy Central, these are the highest advertised shows. I was like, it literally doesn't make sense. And
I'm
she
deep
said,
undercover.
and so now
Yeah, but then now you're advocating for people to lose their monetization, like even Keemstar. Keemstar is a scum fuck also, but I mean, fundamentally, what you're saying doesn't even hold up, right? And you're like, oh, why can't we monetize edgier content? And then, like, you're calling for edgier content to be demonetized actively. Like, you made, like, a whole thing about how Keemstar... Didn't he, like, lose an advertisement deal because of that?
just turned into this Jewish conspiracy where I'm best friends with...
Where the fuck did the Jewish shit come from? Dude, we've... Ethan's hit the ultimate woke level where he is now forcing... Like, he's just forcing race into an issue where race has nothing to do with it. He's just deciding that because he's Jewish, now every attack against him is because he's Jewish. Ethan is now a fused demon of Ethan and Trisha Paytas. Quite literally, Ethan has become, in parts, Trisha Paytas. It's true. Did Crowder actually make a fucking Jewish joke about it? If you could show me where Crowder like said that, then I'll be like, yeah, my bad. But like, I've never seen anything. Did Crowder say something about him being Jewish? Okay, I'll take your word for it. Then fair enough. Then I'm gonna retract what I just said. They show it. Okay.
And that was it. There was like one meeting. Okay, bye. She meets a lot of creators.
Yeah, she met.
They show in this
on that
podcast?
trip to LA.
Okay.
And so anyway, this is him having ulterior motives. So once again, just being a total hypocrite. You know,
Let's see.
I just beat him to the punch.
Are they gonna show him? Show it.
So tell me about your relationship with Susan Wojcicki. She's Jewish, right? By the way, and you are as well.
You guys go to the same synagogue, or
Yeah. Interesting. Good.
A flip in the support of big tech, because also keep in mind too, I had to navigate some murky waters here because the goal was to remove me from medical misinformation and any conversations about COVID. Ethan has talked about that in the past.
You said your co-host sounds like a drunk when his co-host sounds like Helen Keller.
Okay, hold on. I didn't say you sound like a drunk. I said you are a drunk.
Okay, with that. I'm more
Every
interested
time
in
I
the
see this
answer.
guy, he's sitting there with a mug and his face is bloodshot, and I'm like, this guy's drunk all the time. And
Yeah,
so
guys, that's
this
like a
was very
fucking
early in the
idiot. I
morning,
don't
so you
care about
probably
him.
hadn't had your first sip of alcohol yet. Apparently, they said he is a recovering alcoholic, so I guess I hit it right on the head there.
touch a nerve.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, that's funny, but I guess the fight fire with fire. I feel like going down to the level of Crowder kind of belittles your platform. But hey, listen, you.
And by the way, I said he was a little leprechaun. I wasn't trying to make fun of his stature. That he actually does. His face is very like Lucky Charms-ish.
Okay.
But
do they show this anti-Semitic thing?
Like Peter Pan as an episode before, and I was just making fun of their little dress up.
I think that was actually the other host or the other.
Well, regardless, I was just I was recalling the costumes. Yeah. But he is very Lucky Charms-ish in stature and face. So it works.
Sid, your co-host sounds like a drunk when his co-host sounds like Helen Keller learning water.
He's making fun of you because you have an accent. Also, they don't like women. He said, didn't one of them say stop being a woman to me?
Yeah.
He said he's never met such a woman.
Yeah.
Really?
Something like that.
Pretty
Right?
gay. Yeah, he did. Pretty gay. You never met such a woman? I make the gay jokes because they're such raging homophobes and transphobes, of course.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Yeah. What kind of, in this year, what kind of insult is that to say I've never met such a woman? Like, dude, how fucking traumatized were you by your mother? I mean, what is that?
Yeah.
So what do you think about the comparison to Helen Keller?
I don't know. I mean, this guy especially is like so unfunny.
Yeah.
I couldn't care less what he says.
I think he's just there to make Steven look funny by comparison.
Maybe.
You know?
It's so fucking stupid, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about. That
really, the issue is Ethan's wife, because it's your job to try and beat the cowardice out of your husband. Because you're gonna have a little boy, right?
Really?
That's the thing. When you have a son, you have to make sure that they understand what integrity is.
I mean, Steven, that's rich coming from the guy who lied about his fucking pregnant wife.
That's
having a
rich
medical
coming
emergency.
from the guy who still has his dad running his business.
I don't know why it's an insult to talk about dad running his business. What I will say to end this, because this is incredibly boring, I will say one thing. It's been a consistent criticism is Trisha Paytas called your wife a cunt and a bitch, called you and your wife a bad parent live, and you said nothing to her live. So not for nothing, this whole criticism that you're not a real man, yeah, I agree. I don't think that you really are. I mean, those are things that are like there are I don't care if people insult me, but like when you bring somebody's wife into something, like you learn from a young age that like your spouse is like sacred. You don't talk about your spouse, you don't talk about your kids. Those are the two things that are off limits. Especially your kids. And Trisha took that and dialed it the fuck up. Like, dialed it up. She called your wife a cunt and a bitch and said you were bad parents. There's really no worse insult at all there. So, yeah, I mean, like, here's the takeaway, because I'm bored of this situation. Crowder's a scumbag, far too edgy. I don't like him. Ethan is also a scumbag. Just far too social justice warrior. I don't like him. Yeah, I don't really care about Ethan's distasteful skit about his dad. People are I don't care anymore. Like, I don't care. If you have a problem with somebody's parent running a business, you're a fucking weirdo. Especially from a celebrity perspective. Like, could you imagine being somebody with like a lot of money and like people want to take advantage of you, so you would work with your family? You're quite literally working with your family. You're working with your wife. Who cares if it's your dad? Oh, you have a good relationship with your dad? Ha, idiot. It's like, do you not? Maybe that's because you don't have a good relationship with your dad and you're upset. Is that what it is? That would be my guess, because I don't have a good relationship with my dad, so I can empathize with that, I suppose. But like, get over it. That's your fucking problem. It's not Crowder's problem. Hey everyone, if you liked that video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow my Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, Discord, and TikTok. All links are in the description. Also, check out my Patreon if you'd like to support me even more than you already do. Thank you so much, everyone. I love you all.